Okay, everybody, welcome back to West Corners Custom Cycles, and thanks again for tuning into the Underground Garage. If you've been watching the build, this is the 91 Sportster that I'm making an old school cop bike bagger out of. Excuse me. I told you, if you've been watching the build, that the front of this fender's flapping around and I got to get that secured. I also told you I'm going to take this bag off of here for several reasons. One, to give me more accessibility in there to do what I got to do. Plus, I'll be able to give you guys better visibility on what I'm doing. And there's a third reason I want to take you around the back here and show you what's going on and why. Okay, back here on the back of this bike. See how well we can see it here. I might have to adjust it in. Well, maybe I'll just do it by hand. There's a bar that's going across right here that connects these two bags. These bags right here, as you can see, this is part of the bracket that goes around the bag. This bar I put in here between the two of them to kind of help sturdy it up. But if you look, the bar is actually a little smaller than the one it's going into, and it gives it a lot of play. So again, my buddy, the shepherd, the guy that used to own this bike, came through and he machined this on his lathe for me. I don't know how well you can see it. Now, he made the ends here to go right inside this part here, the chrome part. It fits exactly. He mic'd it out and took it down by the thousandths until he got it exactly to fit. I'm hoping once I get these in there that it's going to sturdy that bag up a lot more on both sides. So that's another reason I got to take this bag off, is to swap those bars out. So I'm going to get this bag off here. You don't want to watch me. There's a handful of bolts in here that I got to undo to take it off. I'll set it on the floor. You don't need to watch me do that. You know how to undo bolts. I'll get this on the floor, and then I'll show you what I got planned for hooking the front of that fender up and getting that fastened down. I started making a bracket the other night, and I had to put the binders on because I was getting carried away and I wanted to get it filmed. But I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, I'm back. Got that bag off. Now, this is that bar I was telling you about that was connecting the two. See? Now, this one, the one that my buddy made me, I guess that even has a little play, but it should be a lot better anyway. I'm going to go check it on this other bag. I took it off real quick. Yeah, maybe I'll put a roll of, or a layer or two of electrical tape on it before I shove it in there to make it as snug as I can get it. But that's where we're at with that. Now I'm going to show you what I'm looking at doing for the front of this fender in here. Get this set up where you can see and get a light in here. Okay, gonna fight me. There. Let me zoom in a little closer here. Okay, what I got going on here is these two bolts right here. This belt down out of the way. I may even put it in the way. Hang on. Let's see if you guys can see okay. Okay, here's the idea. These two bolts right here are for the rear engine mount. Now, what I figured I would do, this is the front of the fender right here that I don't want slapping around. Okay, everybody, as you can see now, hopefully you can see okay, I pulled the 2 engine mount bolts out. Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to make a bracket that will connect to these 2 bolts here and have a center stem coming up that goes to the front of the fender so I can bolt that down and sturdy everything up. So here's my game plan. I got this strap here, holes line up, first hole and 5th hole. So that's going to leave me the middle hole to be nice and centered. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of metal and I'm going to weld it on this piece of metal, bolt this down to the bike, bend this forward and the top of this back so it meets up parallel with the front of the fender, and then I'll bolt, drill a hole in the fender and bolt the front of it down. So right now, I'm going to go cut this off. I'm going to get this welded onto this, and we'll come back in a minute, see how everything lines up, get it bolted down, and do what we got to do. All right, be back in a second. All right, this is going to get real noisy, but it'll only be for a minute. Okay. Okay, got the ears off that, and I'll go clean it up on the grinding wheel. All right, everybody, got the bracket pieces cut, cleaned up. I'm going to wall them down the side here, maybe across the front here. I'll trim this bottom piece off, and it'll be all ready to go on the bike. I'm going to paint it when it's done, but get this thing welded up here. Thing is not cooperating. Okay, that's good and hot. We'll let that cool down for a little while. All right, everybody, we're back again, back on the 91 Sports Build. I told you I would be back with that. I've got this fender brace all made up that I was fabricating and making for the front of the rear fender on this, so it wasn't flapping around and making noise. I showed you that in the previous videos. I'm going to get you over here so we can get a good look at this. I'll show you how it's going on there. And I got to get the fender marked where I got to drill a hole in it where I'm going to bolt it to it. So let's get to it. All right, everybody. This is the fender bracket. It's going to go in here. Like I showed you, these two bolts that went in here were for the rear engine mount. This is the bolt. Going to go through here. No, actually, I got to aug those out a little. No, I don't. I thought they went through there. No, I painted it. That's okay. We got them through there. It's going to go on like that. Boom. Bolted down. This is going to bolt to the front of the fender. Well, let's get this in there and get her done. And I'll try and stay out of your way as much as I can so you can see what the heck is going on. That one's going to go in there. Go around the other side and get the other one. Okay, it's going to fight me a little. It's got a little corrosion on the bolt. There it goes. Now they're in there. So that's how that's going to look. Going to get the nuts bolted down on the front of this. Let me grab this camera so I can give you a little better view on what's going on in there. That's going to come up to the front of the fender. Okay. Going to bolt on there. Hold that fender from flapping around. Okay, I'm going to get the nuts on the front of this. You don't need to watch me do that. And I'll bring you back and we'll get this hole marked for the front of the fender. Be back in a minute. Okay, we are back. I got these bolts here, this one and this one. I got the nuts on the back side of them, got them all torqued down. Got them good and tight. Don't forget these are motor mounts, so you don't want to chance those coming loose. So make sure they're good and tight. If you ever loosen them up, take them out for any reason. Now, the front of this fender, I don't know how well you can see it here. I got the bracket coming up. I already drilled a little pilot hole right here. And what I want to show you is how I figured out where I was going to drill that. I have these. They're for pulling hoses off nipples and stuff on cars, but what I did is I put this part through the hole in the bracket on the back here, and I put this part on the front of the fender, matched them up, got an idea where it went, marked it, drilled a pilot hole. Now I'm going to drill a bigger hole because to bolt this down, I'm going to take this. I got here, I'm going to back out a little bit so you guys can see what's going on better. Okay. Now, I have this. Where am I? Okay. Get up here closer. And between these first two washers, I'm going to put the fender. Then I'm going to have a little bit of a spacer between the fender and the bracket, and these two washers on top here are going to sandwich the bracket, and then I got a nylon lock nut. So that's how we're going to lock down the front of that fender. It's not going to vibrate, flop around anymore, and take care of the problem I was having. It'll be all secure. And then I can work on getting the tire back on this, getting all the wiring done, and making sure all the clearances all the way around are good. All right. Let me get to re-drilling this hole. Make it the size that I need it for the, I got a 1/4 20 quarter 20 bolt going through it. Reposition this light so you guys can still see. Right there. Didn't want to cut. Let's see if it cuts any better now. Look at that, like butter. Guess I know how to sharpen the drill bit. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to take the bolt and the washer, put it through, put a washer on that, then the spacer, then another washer, go through the bracket, a washer on the back side of the bracket, and then the nylock nut. All right. And that's how it's going to bolt down. Now I have two. Yes. This around with a couple of ratchet wrenches. There we go. We don't got to be Hercules. Just holding that from flapping around. Now you can see that doesn't move. All right. Let me get you a better look in there. All right, everybody. Just wanted to give you a better view on what we accomplished here, bolting the front of this fender down. This is the bracket bolted to the rear of the engine with the engine mount bolts. Bracket comes up, as you can see, washers, spacers, lock nut, and comes through the front of the fender. All right. That's it. I just wanted you to get a good look at it. Okay. Now you can see brackets bolted here to the back of the engine mount bolts. Comes up. Got a brace that comes out, does a 90 and goes up. Got a hole in that. I got a quarter 20 bolt going through there. A spacer on the back side that's a 1/4 inch long. And then washers and a lock nut. So, that don't move now. That's what I was looking for. Now I can get the rear tire back on. All right, that's going to be it on this video. Next one on this bike's going to be, I got to get this whole bench cleared up here and get everything off it. I got a drop out insert here so I can get the wheel back up in there, check clearance on everything. And as long as that's okay, we can start doing wiring. All right, as always, everybody ride safe, be good to each other, live life behind bars. Thanks for tuning in. It's actually New Year's Eve, so the next time I talk to everybody, it'll be a new year. I hope it's a good one for everybody. All right, peace out.